Hail and well met.
Beat me to it.
It turns its head.
Yoinks and away!
My name is Taako, and you look like you're made of salt.
It flies at you, Taako, and puts its head just like inches away from your own, and gets real close.
Don't mention alt-say.
Little hard hearing, huh? Well, that's okay. Come on in. We're adventurers. I don't sound like this. I don't know.
No, that's pretty good. I don't think it's that bad.
It's not bad.
That was premium taco.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Where's the interior?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna cast a spell at this guy.
Okay.
See how he deals with a little magic. I'm gonna cast Evard's Black Tentacles.
Fuck, what?
Squirming. So I cast a spell, and like black tentacles emerge in a 20-foot square all around this cat. What's this fool's name?
You don't know.
Golem.
Hey, Thug, what's your name? I'm about to tentacle your dick. Hey. I'm going to get you into some temp porn. Let me get that name real quick so I know how to credit you in my tentacle porn I'm about to make with your body.
Okay, you want me to look up somebody's name on Twitter to name this person after so you can wrap them in sex tentacles?
Hey, You heard me. I didn't stutter. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, he breaks free from these tentacles. Are the tentacles gone now?
They are, yes. He's free.
Okay. They fall off of him, giving him one last final soft grace. And he blushes, and that's his turn. He flips through a few pages of this book that's floating in front of him. He goes, let's see. Taako, we'll start with you.
Well, okay.
Hello.
Taako,
Hello.
you've died 8 times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That tracks.
I can't allow you to stay out there. You have to know that. But there's no reason for you to die violently. Just come with me. Come in easy, please.
Kravitz? No, you know what? Nothing. Never mind.
You know what? I will say, if you wanted to lure me in there, you should have stayed handsome, my fella.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. You're getting it spooky scary.
Listen,
people were all ready to write slash fiction between you and me, and then you turned all skeletal.
A whole bunch of artists just had to erase half of the portrait they had done.
Piggyback rides.
Talkits. We'd call it Talkits. That would be the shipper name.
Good.
Talkits.
that's enough.
That is good.
I want to know your answer. Are you coming with me or not? This hand is right behind him now. I've called off your bounty, but I swear if you die again, that is it. No more Mr. Nice Death. That's it. Kravitz is gonna come a-calling.
So will we listen for your voice echoing after us? Should we listen for a Cockney voice or kind of a distinguished gentleman voice?
All right. Yeah, I jump between the two.
No,
I jump between the two at will, don't I?
The other head on your shoulder, Zaphod Beeblebrock style, has begun addressing us. Hey, let us sweeten the pot. If you let them stay on board with us, you can come collect their souls at a later date, and in return, if you let us keep doing our sinister work, I can guarantee you an influx.
Okay, that's not really how this. This really isn't how it works.
Friend.
We deal in lead, as my friend has said, and I know you want these souls.
And these are going to be
Good.
top-notch, delicious souls.
This isn't right. This isn't.
Oh, before their time,
Sure.
delectable.
This is not really a. It's not like we're playing. This isn't a Dark Souls game. It's not like a weird.
Wanty souls. We love them.
So, sound good?
You hang up your cloak and you turn and you realize you have a visitor in this room. He's sitting on the couch in the living quarters that you all share. He's wearing a fancy black suit. He's got a super handsome face. It's Kravitz, who stands up and says, well, we need to talk, don't we? Because you boys, you've added quite a bit to your death count, haven't you?
That one's on me.
You book 2 seats at a class, an evening class at the Chug and Squeeze. During today, it's all Cabernet and vases. It's their Cab Vase class. It's very, very popular. And actually, it's really hard to get seats. But you managed to get 2 seats together at the Chug and Squeeze for the Cab Vase. And you get there early, sort of to prep your station. So there's some finger foods being handed out, and Kravitz doesn't show up for a little bit. You're actually worried that he's blowing you off, but eventually he does come into the room and hang up his dark cloak and sit down, sort of uncomfortable next to you, sort of unsure why you brought him here. Also, as you look around, you realize that it's like everybody else here is in couples. Carrie and Killian are actually here taking a class together, and like everybody here is like more or less on a date.
Did you say discomfort or super comfort?
For Kravitz seems a little like Kravitz thought maybe you would go to a place where you could have a quiet conversation about this, but instead has been dropped into this place. And he says, well, Taako, this is a pretty unconventional place to have an argument about sort of the fate of a whole sort of small community, but I do like wine, so I'm sorry. Do you mind if I drop the accent? It's really, really hard to keep it up, and when I'm not on the job, it just feels weird doing it. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. As long as I could drop my accent too.
He says, so why are we here, Taako? Why can't we just like go back to the dorm and finish our conversation?
Well, ironically, because I thought it would get weird. But I don't know why I thought this would be a better option. Also, you're like very dangerous, so I didn't want to necessarily leave myself in private with you necessarily.
I'm not gonna attack you, Taako. Here's the thing. I don't actually have a contract out on you or Merle or Magnus or anybody in Refuge. I'm just trying to make sense of it because, like, I've been hunting for a good long time, and I've never known anyone who has sort of bent the laws as much as you have. So I'm just trying to understand what makes you guys so special.
Look at what I'm sculpting here.
What are you sculpting?
It's a bowl.
Okay. Well, I do want to. A big burly sort of instructor comes by and says, "Hey, it's vase day. It's cabin vase. No bowls."
Let me reshape it. As soon as he turns away, I fucking turn it back into a bowl because that's what I feel like making today. That's where my muse. I don't fucking chain my muse up.
Kravitz chuckles. He's like, "I like your renegade spirit there."
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. Look at this bowl, right?
He's looking at it.
Okay, so you see how it kind of curves up on each side, and in the middle, there's like a whole big flat part, right? That's where most people fall into. A lot of people are in this area right here. And really, people like you who are charged with sort of keeping the status quo, those are the people that you need to worry about. The people in the middle of the bowl. The other guy. What?
This is a very confusing analogy.
It's not confusing at all.
Okay.
The people who are straight up, who are down the middle, who are sort of regular Joe Pastas, they're always going to be here on the flat part. And as long as you keep them under control and as long as you keep the herd thin there, it'll be fine. There's always going to be edge cases, is what I'm saying. There's always going to be people on the fringe that don't necessarily adhere to whatever rules you set out for yourself. That's everywhere in the universe, in every plane.
I mean, you explained to me last time we talked sort of what you all are doing here, and it sounds important, but the fact that I visited you as much as I have means this line of work is just preposterously dangerous. So why are you doing this, Taako? Why aren't you doing a safer career?
Because I'm worried no one else will have me.
Wow, that was a very honest answer. I'm a bit shocked.
Well, I mean, that's the truth. If I can't be honest at the chug and squeeze, that frankly, my man, I don't know where I can. What else am I going to do? As far as anybody else knows, my career as a chef is over. Nobody wants an adventurer who's got as little experience as I have going in. I can't I can't put any of this on my resume. It'll look like scribbles. So that's out. I don't have a lot of job prospects on that front. So here I am.
I can certainly understand that. I was given a pretty difficult choice when I was faced with being the career of being a bounty hunter for the goddess of death. I didn't grow up wanting to be that, of course.
Who does?
No.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a conductor, but unfortunately, just life finds a way, or death, I guess, the goddess of death.
In this case specifically, death.
Yeah. I appreciate you being so open and honest with me, Taako. I feel like I understand where you're coming from. How much more dying do you think is going to happen, just so I know how to sort of pitch your case to the Raven Queen?
Well, dag, now we reached something of an impasse, huh? How much more? Us dying or like other regular dying?
Just like any dying at all. What's the game plan there?
I mean, there's going to be some. The thing in Refuge was definitely an outlier. I don't plan to die that many times again. So that was probably... Here's what I'm going to say. And I put my hand on his hand to help him shape the vase he's been working on.
It's very cold, his hand is.
Oh boy, howdy. That is a clammy one. Listen, if we can overlook that unpleasantness, I think you're going to find a very acceptable level of death in the days and weeks ahead. That's what I'm going to say to you. A very normal, sort of corporeal, just usual amount of death.
Okay. I think I can close the case on this one. The people of Refuge will be safe. Obviously, you all will... There will be certain exceptions made where they need to be made for the three of you. The Raven Queen is actually good buds with Lady Istis, so I understand you are now in her retinue. So I think I can close my investigation here. I guess let's just enjoy the rest of the class.
Hell yeah! Let's open up another bottle and see where the evening takes us.
Yeah, you have a couple bottles and you make how does your vase? His vase turns out pretty well, about a five out of 10. How's yours?
Cool.
Do?
It's fucking perfect.
Okay.
There's never been a better vase than this. It's fucking tasteful and rad.
Okay. You fire it and you all get to keep your vases at the end of the day. And while you're walking out, you're a bit drunk, just a little bit faded, and you're walking back, and it's nighttime, and you're walking across the big grassy quad of the HQ, and Kravitz turns and he asks, Taako, I want to know.
Yeah?
Was this call for business or pleasure?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. I for sure didn't want to be dragged to hell or whatever it is you do, stored in the ghost house or with Casper in the lot. Don't want to do that in the mirror, if I remember. Yeah. I am not interested in that. But also I love your style. Not crazy about the sort of cold clamminess of the skin, but it's been a while out here.
He steps backward with a start and extends his arm, and his scythe appears in his arm, and a black cloak just kind of unfurls itself over his head.
Love this.
And sort of surrounding his whole body, and all of a sudden his super handsome face is now a skull, and he starts looking around desperately, and he says, there's something here. There's something here, Taako.
I feel it too.
It was not this. There's something here. It was in the Miller's lab too. I could feel it. It's dead and it's powerful and it's extremely close. Are you harboring a dark spirit, Taako? Do you have suspicions that you might be some sort of vessel? And he's kind of eyeing you over with the scythe in his hand.
Maybe. I mean, it's been like a few years. Was that a thing for a while? I eat old dead dudes with my umbrella. Is that a possibility, maybe?
I don't think it's that. He starts looking around, and Kravitz turns his back to you and starts to sort of walk toward the middle of the quad, still kind of looking around for whatever this powerful dead thing is. And Taako, you actually feel the Umbra staff in your hand start to raise itself up. It's not controlling you, it's controlling itself as it sort of raises itself up, and then your arm is outstretched holding the Umbra staff, and it is pointed at Kravitz's back. What do you do? It looks like it's like charging up a spell.
I point it skyward.
Okay. You point you sort of wrestle with the umbrella for a second, and you point it skyward, and you shoot a scorching ray into the sky. And it doesn't hit anybody, but it like launches a flare up into the sky. And Kravitz turns immediately back towards you, and he says, "What was that?"
The Umbra staff's trying to kill you, man. It's not me.
What?
The Umbra staff. Check it out. I used to think Umbro, but it's actually Umbra. It acted on its own.
I don't understand. That's not. Can I see it?
Okay.
You hand it over, and he looks it over, and he says, "This isn't like a cursed item. Maybe your umbrella's cursed, and maybe you should get that checked out. This is an undead being. This is like a lich or something big and powerful. And you're not a lich, are you, Taako?"
Not to my knowledge, not a lich. No.
I mean, you're not. I would know if you were. Okay. Well, I've had a lovely evening, but this.
I got a arcane trickster's glove.
I mean, you can just lay all your stuff out if you want, but I don't think it's definitely not the salt shaker. He says
mockingbird gum.
He says no. You don't have the gum. Is not a lich.
Ring of pointing.
I tell you what. I've had a lovely evening, but I need to go. I need to go think about it while you're sort of unspooling, like just like unpacking all your magic items and laying them out on the ground. You realize he's torn another little rift in space and time to travel back to the astral plane, and he steps through and he says, "Taako, I've had a lovely evening. Do you think I'll be hearing from you again anytime soon?"
Yeah. I mean, as long as I don't, die again.
Well, even so, we have ways of dealing with that. He says.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much the best excuse I ever have. So I think you'll definitely be seeing me again for sure.
He chuckles and says, "Well, hope if that's the case, then hopefully not too soon. Goodbye, Taako."
Adios.
And the rift closes. Taako, Kravitz stands up in front of you, and he says, I guess in his non-affected accent, he says, "How did you do that?"
I run over. I'm already kissing him. This is ridiculous. We've been apart for too long. This is stupid.
You approach him really quick, and as he sees you about to kiss him, he puts his hands up over his mouth, and he's blowing, and he's like, "Hold on, I want to warm up my face. I don't want it to be cold and weird." And then he starts kissing you.
I thought he was checking for bad breath.
No.
And then he starts kissing you, and it's so nice.
I pull away. Okay, forget about how long story short, I was rad natch. How do you still look this good? You've been locked in like mud or tar or something in the astral plane. You look fantastic.
He says it's a lot of work to look this good. He is overjoyed. He says, Taako, I was trying to get out to get a message to you. I thought you were gone. I thought everything was gone.
Well, you're not that far off. But you're right. There has been a terrible loss that you should know about. And I dropped the camouflage spell that I've been maintaining.
Oh, God.
So I just wanted to be honest. I didn't want to catfish you or anything. This is Taako today. I had a bad run-in while I was saving the world again. And this is what I really look like. And I just wanted you to know that in case that changes anything for you personally. I thought you should know now.
He says, Taako, I was crazy about you, before some weird light told me a story about your 100-year journey through existence where you were fighting for a century to save the world. He says, I love you, Taako, and at this point, I think that everyone in reality is going to love you after hearing your story, and nothing's going to change that.
That was actually a test. Your face is a skull half the time, so I just wanted to make sure no fucking kidding. Okay, anyway.
And Kravitz says, I need to keep an eye on them, Taako, and I need to shepherd this world's dead, but it's so fucking good to see your face again. When I was over there, I thought about you constantly.
I mean, me too, pretty much, except the world's ending, so kind of like half and half, but still, free thought time was definitely devoted your way. We will hook up after this, no doubt. Let's go ahead and save everybody, pretty much, and then we'll move on to that. Does that sound good to you?
And he leans forward and kisses you on the forehead, and then he pulls back. And as he pulls back,
shit! One thing before you go. This is my sister.
Loop walks over and she says, "What's up, Ghost Rider?" And Barry walks over and kind of awkwardly waves too. And he was like mid-transformation into his like skeletal form. His face turns into a skull, and he's got this long black robe, and his scythe appears in his hand. And he looks at Loop and also kind of awkwardly waves. And then he comes over to you and says, "You know we're going to have to talk about the fact that your sister's a lich, right?"
Yeah, I assumed.
And he steps backwards and says, "Let's figure it out after we save the world." And
deal.
He flies off.
What'd you do, Pointy Hat?
I saw my boyfriend.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, it was dope.
I like that guy.
What'd you do, Merle?
I lay down in the road.
Really? That's it?
Watched a big worm.
I just think you'd be real good at this, and I think the world deserves to see what you can do.
On this, we are agreed. I love this. I should mention my boyfriend is deaf, so he will be staying over from time to time. But if you're comfortable with that, it would be my honor.
She stands up, and over this parchment, she reaches out her hand for a handshake.
I do it.
Loop says, "So are you heading back to your big, great school of magical awesomeness when this is all done?"
Actually, I promised Kravitz that we'd take a vacay. We're gonna go, on that side. I'm kind of dreading it. I wanted to go somewhere beachy.
You're going on a afterlife vacation? Is that allowed?
I think he knows some people who know some people. I think we're going to be fine on that end. Plus, just pack sunscreen, which is huge.
She tastes that sauce again, and she smiles, and she puts the spoon down, and she says, "I'm really proud of you, Taako. It seems like you're really happy." And through the door out to the hallway, you see Kravitz and Barry walking by, and they pop into the door frame, and Barry says, they're getting started soon. We should probably get out there. And Loop steals one more bite of food and says, "I was just kidding about the sauce, by the way. You're doing great." And her and Barry disappear through the down the hallway and out of sight. And Kravitz walks into the kitchen, and he says, "Don't miss it, okay? They're definitely going to want you there." And he tastes the sauce, and he smiles, and he says, "God, that's good." And he says, "I'm really looking forward to next week."
Me too.
I promise not to take you anywhere like too spooky.
You know what? I'm a big boy. I'm fine.
And he steals a kiss, and he says, "I know you are." Sitting next to them are Taako and Kravitz. And Taako, just as things are about to start, Kravitz reaches down and takes your hand in his, and it's warm. And the two of you lock eyes for a while as Kravitz smiles, and he turns his eyes back toward the lectern.
You're dating the Grim Reaper?